This video is sponsored by Squarespace.
So I've got a lot of clothes. I got a total of 4 racks of clothing. And to be quite honest, I'm way too lazy to go live on Whatnot or upload it onto Depop. So I posted on my IG stories if anybody was interested in a mystery bundle. And nearly 100 of y'all sent me your measurements, your sizes, your Depop links, and your Pinterest boards. So let's put together some mystery bundles. Just kidding, y'all. I actually already have the bundles fulfilled. And they're all in front of me. And so I was like, I don't know if I should even make this a video. Like, it's different from my other videos because usually I'll take you to the thrift store, we'll pull the pieces together, and then we'll fulfill the bundle together. So I was like, is it boring if I just show you this piece, this piece, this piece, and this piece is what I included in the bundle? But I did post a poll on my IG stories, and y'all said you were down to watch this. So grab your snacks, grab something to drink, and let's talk mystery bundles. Our first bundle is for Ilianna. And to be honest, this time around I didn't ask for like dislikes or likes just because I have a very specific type of style when it comes to my inventory. For the most part, it's always dead stock, it's Y2K. So yeah, if you have like a very different aesthetic than what I kind of wear, yeah, I'm sorry, but I had to skip your bundle. And so I got a lot of people who were like, Americana core? I was like, guys, I do not wear that. I like just would not pick that up in my inventory because I like to sell what I wear. A lot of these styles are Y2K, a little bit more alternative. There's one bundle that was a little hard for me to fulfill, but I did make some executive decisions with some of the pieces and I feel like it makes sense. So y'all can drag me or praise me in the comments, but we'll leave that bundle for the very, very end. Let's talk Ilianna. I mainly use her Pinterest board. So we started off with bottoms first, and right away I was like, ooh, it's giving trip. We've got pleated skirts, we've got distressing, we've got studs and eyelets, we've got lace-up details. And you know what sucks so bad is that I literally had a trip skirt that looked just like this, but I sold it at Echo Park Rising. And so I was like, no, that would have literally been perfect. But then I saw this girl here who has the plaid shorts, and then she also has this plaid little mini skirt. And then it was this photo right here that I was like, you know what would make the perfect addition to all these skirts? This skirt. It's on the darker side. We got the ribbon, we've got the little lace trimming, and the all over print. This is quite literally perfect and matches the aesthetic. I got so many DMs being like, how much are your bundles? My bundles have always been 3 pieces for only $50, but I always toss in freebies. And as far as freebies, it could be anywhere between like 1 to 3 pieces. It all depends on what I have. This is also just a personal preference, but when I get mystery bundles, I would rather receive tops than bottoms. So most of the bundles I try to include at least 1 bottom and then the rest tops. Then I went into dresses, and then she has a lot of like 90s stuff, which is very cute. I love these things with like baby dolls and the plaid. I feel like I have a lot of that in my personal wardrobe, so I'm not ready to part with that quite yet. The polka dots, this is where we got somewhere interesting. This dress right here, I was like, what are the chances that I literally have something just like this? And I picked it up like a few weekends ago. Tell me that isn't literally so perfect. With the lace trimming and the little tulle on the bottom, I was like, and in her size? This is a brand Ruby Rocks. I also love just like the scallop trimming at the very top of the bust. The only thing is that it has these little belt loops, so I'm sure it came with the belt. It just doesn't have one. So Ilianna could slip on whatever she wants, or if she doesn't want a belt, that works too. But here's item number 2. We're 2 for 2. I feel like those are pretty spot on. And then lastly, I went into her tops, and immediately a lot of baby doll, a lot of ruffles, a lot of lace-up details, little puff sleeves. I actually picked up a baby doll little striped cami like this at Savers maybe like a few videos ago. If you haven't watched that, I'll put it up in the cards and in the description. So I was this close to giving it to Ilianna, but I was like, no, I've only worn it out once. I can't, it has to stay in my wardrobe just a little bit longer. But I was influenced by tops like this that are a little bit more black, have like details on them, like little bows and ruffles, just have like some sort of texture like lace. I pulled 3 for her. So we have this one here. She had a lot of like camisoles that had ruffles and like tiers. So I was like, ooh, okay, I do kind of have something like that. Anytime I finish markets, whatever inventory doesn't sell, I usually go shopping for myself. So I go through everything and I pull the things that I want to keep and that will stay in my wardrobe. This was one of the pieces, but I was like, you know what, it's okay. We can pass it along to Ilianna because it's literally perfect. We've got the little ruffle sleeves, but look at the bodice here. You guys see the little ruffles? I was like, this matches her Pinterest. I feel like she would really appreciate if she was given this. So this is her third item. And then we have 2 freebies. I wanted to just kind of play around with all the lace items she had, the like bustiers, the scallop trimming that we see in a lot of them. I feel like this one is a grail, just with like Forever 21 gone. RIP. I just like really appreciate all of their vintage pieces that I come across. Tell me this isn't perfect. It's black, it has like a nude lining underneath, and then it has a hook and eye closure. So it kind of gives that bustier feel, and it looks paneled too because of the stitching. And then look at the scallop trimming on that, the delicate little straps. Yeah, this is literally perfect. Looks like it would be right in her Pinterest. I don't know if this is like too similar. We have another little camisole, so no closure, you just slip this right on over your head. But I like that it kind of hugs a bust in like a contrast fabric, and then it has a black lace shell, and then the lining is this really cool like black silver metallic fabric. And then this is a brand, Necessary Objects, which is a brand that I totally love to pick up. That was Ilianna's bundle. This one was so easy and so fun to fulfill. I know this is like bad to say because I should be able to like specialize in all aesthetics, but the closer style you have to my own, the faster I'll be able to fulfill your bundle, and like with more accuracy too. Literally gonna send these out the minute I finish filming this video. They should be at everyone's doorstep as early as next week. Before we move into our second bundle though, can I show you my website? Come. All thanks to today's video sponsor, Squarespace, who empowers individuals to create an online web presence, but also launch their passion projects. Twinl.com is new, is revamped, is now USAGIMERCADO.com. And honestly, I was okay making this change because USAGI Mercado's gotten to a point where we're big enough to sell merch to actually have an online presence. Squarespace had us covered on all bases, so let's check out the website. USAGI Mercado quite literally would not be a market without its vendors. So right at the very top, we have a Vend With Us, where we have 2 forms for non-food and food vendor applications, and this is where I'm using the feature forms. It was so easy to make. They have a bunch of templates that you can choose from. Once you drop in a template, you can go in and customize it however you want. It makes it look super professional, and all I did was literally click buttons. So if you're not tech savvy just like me, Squarespace makes it that easy. If you go into the shop tab, we do have only 4 products. We got some panties, buttons, camisoles, and hats that are all USAGI themed, but that just means we're taking advantage of the inventory management feature. This is what keeps us organized. We get notifications via email and text anytime our products are low in stock or completely out of stock. One of my favorite pages on the site is USAGI by You. This is where we're using video collections and we're showcasing videos that you made about USAGI Mercado. And to showcase the video, all you gotta do is copy and paste the video link into Squarespace, and it'll pop up as a thumbnail just like this. And then if you keep scrolling down, there's a whole bunch of photos from previous events. There's a free trial waiting for you at squarespace.com, but when you're ready to launch, visit squarespace.com/Chanel to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Huge thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. Let's get back to these mystery bundles. Bundle number 2 is for Cynthia. It kind of sucks because none of her Pinterest links were working. I had asked for a couple of them. I think she sent like 3 or 5 of them, and I don't know, none of them were working. So I only went off her Depop links, and there weren't very many bottoms. So it was really hard to get inspired by only tops. So I'm sorry, Cynthia, you only got tops, but I gave you freebies, so don't worry. So as soon as you open up her Depop likes, I'm seeing color, I'm seeing print, I'm seeing a lot of intricate detail, and polka dots. I know polka dots are so hot this season, but honestly, I think that's the only polka dot item I had in my inventory. I'm also a little surprised to see leopard print. I feel like usually everyone includes in their dislikes, no animal print, no leopard print. People usually think it looks a little tacky, but I love a good leopard print. So immediately what caught my eye was this shirt right here. It's this little milkmaid top. She's one solid color, has like the lace, the little ruching of the bust, and the puff sleeves, and I was like, why do I literally have something just like that? Only in a deeper color. We have it in red. But like, come on, that's literally so spot on. And this is a vintage piece, paper tag, made in USA. And then I was seeing a lot of these like fairy cardigans, like this red one here. She has a few gray ones and black ones at the bottom. Summer is almost coming to an end, so I was okay putting in a sweater, but I mean, we just had to. Like, it just made sense since she had so many of these little fairy cardigans on there. But look at this. We've got the ruffles, another red piece. So the only thing that sucks is that it's not necessarily like the darker colors that she had, but I don't think she's afraid of color because she did have plenty of like colorful tops. But this is so soft to the touch, and even though it is hot right now, it's not as thick as you think it would be. Like, it's still somewhat breathable. So far, we're on a roll. 2 for 2, exactly what she had. She really likes that milkmaid top. So we have this one with, what is this, like hearts? Where the material looks a little bit like structured and thicker, if you know what I mean. And then the one right next to it, same thing, puff sleeves, but the fabric, do you guys know what I mean by that? Like the fabric looks thicker. And I was like, wait, because why do I literally have this in my inventory? I've had this for a hot minute. I haven't even showed it off on Whatnot or anything, but I was like, that's literally perfect. Like Miss Girl here can literally stand on her own. Kind of. Look at the little puff sleeves, the all over print. This does it for her third item. That means her bundle is complete now. And then I did include 2 other freebies. The first freebie I included was kind of inspired by 2 tops. So the first one is this one here. It has the ruffles. I just love how everything just falls so pretty and frilly. And then the one right next to it is this black top here. I don't know, something about the sleeves just made me feel like the neckline would be a little bit more wide. We have this vintage piece. It's a paper tag, made in USA. I feel like it's a little hard to see the details, but we've got ruffles, and then it's got 3 front tie closures. You can see it when I pull it apart like this, but I feel like the ruffles kind of fall over it, so it's a little hard to tell. I feel like this is so dark and romantic, so I feel like it fits. If you think otherwise, let me know, but I feel like it's a freebie. It's a good little freebie. The last freebie that I wanted to include, I feel like I have to fight for it to make sense, but I just feel like in her bundle we included so much color, and she did have like darker colors in there, and I was like, damn, I did not include that whatsoever. So I wanted to include a darker piece, but she had a lot of clothes like that have like dramatic long sleeves. I was like, all right, I could definitely do that. I have pieces that are statement, that have texture, and that have dramatic sleeves. So I wanted to include this one. Look at it. I feel like it's giving Forest Fairy, perfect for fall. And then look at these sleeves. I low-key wanted to keep this one for myself because I have my sternum tattooed, and I was like, I never get to show them off unless I wear a crop top or it's super sheer like this. And the way that I look at it is that these bundles are only $50, so they already get their money's worth with the 3 items. And so the freebies, if it doesn't end up working, they could always rehome it. They can make their money back, at least half their money back if they sell one of them. So Cynthia, here's your bundle. Y'all let me know what you think of it. Tell me all your thoughts down below in the comments. So let's move on to our third one. Our third bundle is for Leidy or Leidy. I mainly use her Depop likes to fulfill this bundle too, but right away I was like, dang, I see wings. So many freaking wings, besides the jewelry. I don't ever put like jewelry or shoes in my bundle, so I kind of just skip through all that. But the wings, we see it on red clothes, black clothes, white clothes, and so I pulled anything in my inventory that had wings, and I think I only had 2 of them. The only thing that sucks with the black clothes is that, oh my gosh, y'all, it just catches lint so quickly and it's so noticeable. Don't worry, I will lint roll everything before I send it out. I have this little black polo, and you'd think, okay, how does that make sense exactly? Well, you gotta flip her around because look at that. We've got huge embellished wings. Love this. I think it's so cute. I also have this in black and white, but I feel like I saw a lot more black in Leidy's clothes. So I'm gonna do this one as her first piece. I also really like the polo because I feel like you can accessorize it with a tie. And the tie could have spikes, it could have buttons, it could have lace, it could have literally whatever you want it to. So I like this piece. I feel like it's a good one. And then I actually didn't include any skirts just because Leidy is a little hippie, just like me, and so I didn't have any bottoms that really fit her nicely. It would have been a little too tight and snug, and I would rather send something that is a little bit more roomy than like constricting. But I mean, I can at least show you the skirts that I was considering. They fit her waist, but the hip, it was like exactly her measurement. So I was like, no, I don't think I should do that. But this was one of the pieces that I was considering. This is an Italian piece, archival. Tags are still attached, it's dead stock. Definitely looks like something she would have had on her Pinterest. Just a shame that it didn't end up working. I was also considering this one here. Even though it is in trip, I feel like the dual buckle situation on each side here kind of gives trip, especially with like the contrast red stitching. And the tags are also attached on this one. But again, I'm just like, if the hip measurement isn't there, and I feel like the hip measurement is super, super, super important, and a lot of people just kind of gloss over that, I'm not gonna include it. Even though I didn't include a bottom, I did include a dress, and it's one of my favorites. I even have it in my own personal wardrobe, and it's this one here. We got cute little puff sleeves. It has like a plunging neckline. Usually I don't like plunging necklines, but for some reason this one I love. And it also has a hood too, so let me just back up a little so you can see what this looks like. We've got the little wing detail on the shoulder, the plunging neckline, and then this one flares out just a little bit, so it'll give a little bit of leeway for her hips. I usually wear it with like fishnets and my demonias, So cute. She also has pieces like this yellow shirt that kind of gives Ed Hardy, and like tops like this that are just saturated in an all over print. And then over here we have a whole bunch of tanks. They're all racer back, but they have like some sort of graphic that I would say kind of looks like Ed Hardy too. So I was like, okay, I actually do have a couple things like that. So I pulled this one here. The only thing is it's not necessarily a graphic. They're all embellished, but tell me this isn't like Ed Hardy inspired. And I like this one because it does have a lot of stretch. It is one size. And then on the sides, it's actually perforated. So it gives like a little bit of detail. This one is a lot more tame than what she had on her Pinterest board, but it's the closest that I was able to get. So there's 3 items there, bundles fulfilled. I did include 3 freebies. Since I wasn't able to include a bottom, I did feel a little guilty, so I included 3 freebies. I feel like this is a little bit more spot on with what she had liked, with like the crazy print, the hearts, the wings, the fire. This pretty much embodies that. I love the sleeves aren't like totally basic. It has this ruching, and the back has this gathered detail paired with the mini skirt, boots, studded belt. I feel like she'll be good to go. Okay, wait, there was this skirt that I saw in here. Another executive decision that I decided to make. There was this skirt right here. I know it's maxi, but do you see like the tiers and those like silver little hardware details? I was like, wait, why does that look kind of familiar? It's because in my inventory, I literally have a camisole that looks so similar to it. You can't tell me that this wouldn't be the matching top to that skirt. Let me bring you a little bit closer so that way you can see the silver hardware. And I also love that they just run along the shoulder strap. I feel like this is a good contrast to the shirt that we just had because that other one was a little bit more oversized and flowy. This one is a little bit more sexy, fitted. I think it's a good one. This last freebie, I feel like I need to justify it and give you my little spiel, but look at this. We have a lot of black clothes, right? So I was like, dang, did I go a little too overboard with the black clothing? And then she has shirts like this, which, you know, they're a little bit more beige and tan. This shirt alone, if she sold it, she would get her money back. It's imported from Paris. So I don't know if I'm a little too far off with this one, but I would be really happy to receive this in a bundle. Our very last bundle is for Savannah. It's Savannah. I'm scared for you to see this. I'm scared for all of y'all to see this, to be honest. I feel like this always happens, but when I have a bundle drop, there's always that one bundle that just gets me every time. I was stumped for a hot minute, but I was like, I feel like these pieces could work. So let's go to Savannah's Depop likes, and immediately I was just like, oh shit. This is so not my style. I don't even know how to categorize this. Like, I see a little bit of Y2K, especially with like this halter top here. Things like that I could totally do. But everything else kind of gives me like minimalism, like clean girl. I know I should not say this about myself, but I am so far from a clean girl, and Arthur can attest to that. Like, I'm a little grimy, y'all, I can't lie. But as you keep scrolling, I was like, okay, I definitely see a few of these pieces. Like this printed top, I was like, okay, that's cute. I don't know exactly what they like. Like, is it this graphic specifically? Is it that it has an all over graphic, but like the contrast sleeves? Because that I can do. And I was like, wait, I did literally pick up something like that. It might not have this fancy lady, but you want angel babies? Well, I've got angel babies, and I feel like that is pretty spot on, right? Like, kind of scary with like the contrast sleeves and then the print on the front that's like within the same color palette. I feel like that's as good as it's gonna get. So I really like this one as the first piece for Savannah. And this is where it starts to get a little scary, but I feel like they're my bundles. I can make the executive decisions as long as it makes sense in my head, right? Okay, so let's look at this pleated skirt. I have a whole bunch of mini skirts right now. This is pretty dang similar. It's denim. This one is pleated, but it does have that like paneled stitching. Dead stock tags are still attached. So she is as new as it gets when it comes to vintage. But you gotta admit, that's a pretty good dupe, eh? So 2 for 2, I'm very happy with. And now we're getting to stripes. We have this shirt here. So when you combine all of these shirts together, we get a little combo of stripes, like strappy neck details, and vintage. Well, this was the best that I was able to do, and I love the colorway too. I also wanted to take on this bundle just because I know the other bundles were very dark in color. We pulled a lot of black clothes. So I was like, ugh, I think we need to step it up with the color. And so we've got this one here. I feel like it's pretty fun. It's screaming summer. We've got the stripes, the purple and green color combo, screaming Daphne from Scooby-Doo, and I'm obsessed with it. And I feel like this is as close as we're gonna be able to get to her halter necks. It's cute though, right? So this makes her third item. Her bundle is done, but I did also include 2 freebies. And surprise, surprise, more dark clothing. We see this outfit. You see that top? If I zoom in, you see how that's like really ruched. It's got like that crinkliness to it. Well, I was inspired by that, and since I have a lot of Y2K dead stock, paper tag, made in USA, this I felt would be so perfect for it. She also had plenty of items that have puff sleeves, so I know she wouldn't have minded that. But look at this. She's a little cutie. She's also sheer. But I feel like she plays more with like the minimalistic style that she has. For Savannah's last freebie, this is one that I wanted for myself. Okay, but I was mainly inspired by this top here. It's a little off the shoulder, but you see how the silhouette is just a little bit more simple, and it's all black, but it was this striped shirt right here. This one I was like, ooh, that neckline is so asymmetric. I love it. So we kind of combined both those tops. I know she likes these very like minimal styles, but with like a little bit of funkiness to it. I tried this on, I was like, wait, I want her. But look at this top. You see that neckline? You see the asymmetrical straps here? And this one also has a tiny little cutout here that she can ruche together if she wants, or she can like pull it apart. I feel like this is so easy to style, whether the bottom is like super minimalistic or a statement. Then here's your bundle. This one I'm very nervous about because I don't really feel like I found like exact dupes like I did for the other one. So hopefully it works out. Let me know how y'all think I did. Mystery bundles are done and ready to be shipped out. It has been a minute since I fulfilled mystery bundles, so I felt a little rusty. But give me your honest thoughts, y'all. How do you think I did? Where could I have improved? I feel like wherever I do lack, I kind of make it up with the freebies, right? If you ever want to catch one of my mystery bundle drops, you gotta follow me on Instagram, y'all. I always just post it randomly on my IG stories. Also, I still have 4 racks of clothing. 4 bundles, even though I did include like 5-6 pieces each, we still have a crap ton of clothes, so I'm gonna try to be better about going live on Whatnot. I do have a few pieces already posted on Depop, so I'll leave all the links down below, but Whatnot, that's where you should catch me for all the deals and all the steals. Let me know which bundle was your absolute favorite down below in the comments. As always, y'all, I do post videos at least once a week. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!